This is David Mooring, and welcome to my final EMDT video presentation. You just caught me, I was going to do some dishes. Speaking of, have you ever thought of how many steps it takes to do dishes? You have to put the stopper in the sink, turn the water on, not too hot so that you burn yourself. I have to add soap. And of course, I have to have something to wash the dishes with. And then I have to have a place to rinse and dry them. See? Quite a few steps. Well, what does that have to do with my action research project? Well, we're going to spend a short period of time where I'm going to tell you about my action research project, the rationale behind it, how I developed and created this project, and then we're going to look at what the research and literature says about that rationale behind this project. And then I'm going to spend some time with you describing how I set it up and how it came out, how my students learned from this action research project, and then what did I learn and what kind of tools did I use, and then spend some reflection time. And so now my action research project is taking Web 2.0 tools, taking functional life skills, marrying those two things together so I can use those tools to describe the steps that it takes to do a lot of these skills, such as washing dishes. The rationale behind my action research project was that I wanted to change my teaching style and fully engage my students as they learn functional life skills. My special needs students represent a variety of cognitive disabilities and IQs, so I knew it would be a challenge to fully engage them. And so, based on different brain-based theories, I came up with using Web 2.0 tools to take advantage of my students' learning using their visual and auditory channels. During the research component of my project, I chose to use peer-reviewed journals, knowing that the material found in them would be accurate and up to date. Well, the research showed that communication and parent involvement were key to the success of students with disabilities learning transitional skills. Parents were looking for ways to transition their students into adult life and needed support from school to make that transition a smooth one. In looking at brain-based theories, Jensen says the brain works well because it has multiple dynamic pathways, and for my students that would mean using video and auditory hands-on interactions. Well, during the design and development stage, I learned about Web 2.0 tools and the Google Suite during these months in the EMDT program. I went through them and decided on which ones I was going to use. I had to choose ones that my students could adapt to. So Poplet, Comic Life, Google Docs, and VoiceThreads were chosen. The idea was to teach my students how to use them using general curriculum material, in this case descriptive adjectives. And this gives us a visual presentation of what Poplet really does and what it looks like. So as you can see, Poplet is a series of small little what they call poplets. And we can write about any subject that we want. Alright. We decided that this word is adjectives. An adjective is a descriptive word. Well, during Cycle 1, my students learned how to use the Google Doc to use for descriptive adjectives. And to my surprise, they picked up on that very well. So at the end of the cycle, the data showed that my students love to work with these Web 2.0 tools, and they would be happy to do that again. During Cycle 2, we turned to learning functional life skills using a Web 2.0 tool. We worked on the perfect grilled cheese sandwich and laundry skills. The students broke the task into steps and recorded them in VoiceThreads. And during months 7 and 8, I came up with a video to supplement what they were learning in voice. Laundry, laundry, 1,
2, 3. How many steps to keep them clean?
As a final assessment tool in month 9, I created a game called the First Annual Grilled Cheese Cook-Off Relay Race. Let's take a look at how we played.
My microphone. Welcome to the first annual Grilled Cheese Cook-Off Relay Race.
It's the championship race.
The object of this game is for each team to create their own grilled cheese sandwich without burning it. And make sure that you have all of the correct ingredients. Just to explain the game real quick, each team member will have a separate task. One task only that they can perform at a time. And they will build a complete sandwich, and then the last person, after your sandwich has been built and the team decides that it's ready to cook, the last person will come bring it over here and put it on the griddle and cook the sandwich.
And what we win?
If it's burnt,
we'll eat it.
You'll lose.
You'll lose. Hey Jennifer, did you like playing the relay race?
Yeah.
What was good about it?
Grilled cheese sandwich.
Was it fun?
So what data did I collect from after Cycle 1 and Cycle 2? Well, at the end of Cycle 1, the data showed that 20% of my students found Comic Life was a lot of fun, and 13% loved how you can add words to your comic. 29% of my students, when using VoiceThread, thought it was hard to use, and 14% thought it was okay. 36% liked making comments on their peers' VoiceThreads. When it came to using Poplet, 11% of my students stated that Poplet was easy to use, and 36% loved adding words and pictures to them, and 21% loved adding video to Poplet. So it was clear that Poplet was going to be the easiest Web 2.0 tool program to use. Well, at the end of Cycle 2, the data showed that 90% of my class participated in the Grilled Cheese Cook-Off Relay Race, that 100% of them had fun, and each team only needed 5 prompts for adding from adults during the game, and 95% of my students were able to make their own grilled cheese sandwich when the game was completed. The future for myself and my students is that I will continue to use the toolkit that I've been given in the EMDT program. In the fall, I will introduce the LMS Schoology to my students and parents, establishing an open line of communication between school and home. I will use gaming and digital storytelling, just like I did with my mom as she shared her story about life in an American relocation camp in World War II.
The whole thing was crazy. I don't know how we survived all that.
Of course, using Web 2.0 tools to help my students to learn those functional life skills. This project allows the future of my students to be a bright one, as they transition from being a student with a disability into an adult who may have a disability, but has the skills to live a more independent life.